Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I'm going to give you a union read and a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for each of the past 3 days. So the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. I just haven't been able to do the videos. The energy's been kind of difficult the past couple days, not bad, just wasn't being guided to do the videos. So I'm going to do them today. This will be for the 23rd of May 2020. I can't show you the cards on this computer. When I get my new iPad, I'll be going back to my usual format. But just for now, I'm going to read them to you. I'll show you the thumbnail of the Divine Masculine Twin Flame for each of the days on each of the separate videos, so you can take a picture of that if you want to follow that way. And I'm going to pull an energy card before and after each read just to give you some of the energies that are coming up. We're going to clear first. So take a deep breath, you guys. Okay, so for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn today for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames and the unions? And this will just be an opening energy from the energy deck. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned, let's also clear all negative, dark, and viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so from the energy deck, let's see what we have here. What is our message today? What are the energies like? All right, there's a couple cards that came up here. The bottom of the deck is Yin Yang, which is 22, which is the Fool. Okay, you can see how it's a little bit fuzzy here. It's kind of hard to see the cards. So I can't, these are bigger cards too, so it's a little easier to see them. So Yin Yang, so the underlying energy is balancing energies. It's also the 22 of the Fool, keeping your heart open and taking that leap of faith. The cards that came out for you guys here is first chakra Archangel Michael and Angel of Strength. I'm having a little trouble talking. Okay, so really beautiful energies there. So really focusing on the root chakra, safety and security issues, survival issues, feeling safe, and then being strong. The first chakra is 35, which is the Nine of Wands, the Wounded Warrior, which is very much in line with Archangel Michael. And then 50 is the 10 of Cups, the Angel of Strength. So this card is very much a combination of like the 10 of Cups and the Strength card. So it's a really beautiful energy. I love how the light's shining on her as well. Okay, and there's a lot of angelic energy here. This is like, I'm just getting like really both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are both equally coming into their strength. It's really beautiful energy. And that's coming up with the Yin Yang here, all right? So we have the Yin Yang balancing of the masculine and the feminine, all right? Both in their strength. Really beautiful here. All right, so this is for Saturday, the 23rd. So the union read's just a quick read. I'm going to read through it, and then we'll get into the Divine Masculine Twin Flame read. So this one was done 11:34 to 35 p.m. the night going into the 23rd. So it was the 22nd to the 23rd, and again, the 22nd going into the 23rd was again that Fool energy that just came up, the keeping your heart open and taking that leap of faith, and the day adding up to the 23rd then, and the 32, which is the reflection of each other. The 23 is the King of Wands, and the 32 is the Six of Wands, the Journeyman. So very much a reflection of each other, but also very similar energies, like the twins, reflections of each other, and yet very much the same in certain ways. So the union energy here was the Queen of Wands, or excuse me, the Queen of Swords. Having trouble talking today. Queen of Swords is the underlying energy, and the central energy was the Three of Wands, the woman of integrity present to flame with open heart. The underlying divine feminine energy coming into the read was the twin flames splattering color all over the place with the Two of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Tower energies. In the 3D, we had the Seven of Swords, the Three of Pentacles, and the Hermit. So the Divine Feminine taking a risk and passing downloads, the Divine Feminine hermiting, and then the two bridging through the workplace or place of co-creation. In the 4D, the Divine Feminine is the Ten of Swords, the betrayal, painful end or ending pain, and that has to do with back treatments as well. Massages, acupuncture, chiropractor, all that kind of energy comes up with the Ten of Swords cards as well. So the Divine Masculine, the Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior, and bridging the two, the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands, which are very difficult energies to transmute, but bridging the two by the Three of Wands, just being present to that third energy that you share. In the 5D is the Nine of Swords, Karma, and Starseed, the Divine Feminine suffering in silence, doing her purges, the Divine Masculine in a fresh new start, taking that leap of faith, and receiving his crown opening, right? And then the bridging of the two by Karma, opening the crown even more. The Divine Feminine passing on downloads to end the pain in 4D and the suffering in silence in the 5D, which remember, we don't, in 5D we don't really suffer. So when we get the suffering, the silence card in the 5D, it's just transmuting those suffering energies. The Divine Masculine being the Hermit, reflecting the wounded warrior, surrendering and receiving downloads by a bomb dropping or receiving a huge download. We've definitely been getting those energies. I told that to you a few days ago too, that I was, I think it was on the 19th and the 20th, I was getting spectacular colors and energies coming in, and then all of a sudden it got dark and difficult the past couple days. So it's not just you, it's the energies coming in. So the bridge between, the whole column of bridge, is the workplace or place of co-creation in the 3D, coming together in the work or the mission, and then being present to the third flame in the 4D and that third energy, and in the 5D being present to karma and judgment of each other and opening fully to seeing all sides of each other, the shadow and the light. The outgoing Divine Masculine energy was then the Two of Cups, Justice, and the Ten of Pentacles, in coming together or in disconnect, divorce, and end to the Ten of Pentacles, which can be the end. It can be the end of a family cycle or a business cycle, or this cycle of us dealing with world events regarding finances and practical things of our everyday living, which has very much been affected right now. And then the summary was hanging out in this awakening. The twin flame connection and energetic exchange of truth and balance, sudden events, epiphanies, and orgasm coming up here. And then in relation to the Ten of Pentacles, which has to do with the dream family as well. Hanging out with a right knee block, which is why frustrations are coming up again, because on the right side, the masculine side, there's still aggression energy of frustration coming out. And then the grid for this union energy came out to the 63, which is that Nine of Swords, the suffering and silence energy, but in a good way, because this is about allowing the purges to come out, going into the pain, and allowing yourself to funnel through that energy to come out the other end. The horizontal grid was the Hermit, the Fool, and the Six of Wands of the 9, 22, and 32. So the Hermit leaps with an open heart onto the journey. And on the vertical plane, we had the twin flames, inspired lovers as the Hermit and the High Priestess, destined. Okay, so the Hermit, that would reference the masculine as the Hermit here, which they can both be hermits depending on what the read is. So the Hermit's leaping with open heart onto the journey, which is representing the masculine, and the twin flames, inspired lovers, as the Hermit, and then the High Priestess, destined to be together. So that was the that was for the 23rd. And then now this is the Divine Masculine read for the 23rd. And again, this was the 23 of the King of Wands, the 32 of the Journeyman, the Six of Wands. And Ganesh has been coming up a lot for me lately, the elephant god. And I told you the other day that I had seen that in my meditation. And I haven't connected with that energy before, so it was really cool. It was actually, it was a big hug in my meditation, connecting with Ganesha. So that was really beautiful. tree. I'm trying to think what I wrote here. So the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt that day at 9:58 to 59, which is the Hermit. The 58 and 59 are the 4 and 5 of Swords. The 4 of Swords were very much about the 5D connection between the two, and then the 5 of Swords, the growth spurt within, the war within. The read was finished at 10:30 to 31, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and then 30 and 31 are the 4 and 5 of Wands. And 30, of course, is the 4 of Wands and the union energy, and then the 5 of Wands, that expansion energy, but it also can be of conflict and games and competition and being on the quest, the pursuit of happiness even. So the major arcana for the read on the 23rd, Saturday, was Indigo, which is the Magician, Luna, the Moon, and then Higher Self, which is like the High Priestess. Before the read was Abundance and Starseed, which is the Empress and the Fool. And after the read was the Guidance card, which is like the Hierophant. We had 5 swords and 3 cups, and there were no other energies. So there were no wands and no swords. No wands and no pentacles. 5 swords. So on Saturday the masculine, it was just 11:11 too. Saturday the masculine was very much in their heads. 5 swords is a lot. And then 3 cups. So whenever they go into their emotions, they tend to go into their heads. But there were no wands or pentacles at all here, which is very unusual. We have the Page of Swords and the King of Swords in this read. The Page and King of Swords, so this can have to do with father and son or father and child energies, whether it's the father and the masculine and his father, or him and his kids, if they have them. And then the numbers and code line here were all about abundance and self-discipline, but part of the letters were covered in the read, so it was coming up as AB and undance, and then self-discipline. The numbers were double 3s, 9s, and 10s. So 33 is the Christ vibration, and that's 7 of Wands. 99 is a lot of compassion, and then 1010 is that very high vibration as we get to the end of the scale there. And the only 2 numbers that didn't come up at all were the 2 and the 8, which is the twin flames. We also had on the code line, that was all about number 3, which is about self-expression and authenticity, being in joy, coming together, siblings, the smiley, happy-go-lucky person. And the other numbers that came up were 53, which is the Knight of Swords, the number 8, which is Strength, which very much came up in that card that I pulled, 33 of the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself, 99 of Compassion, 1010, and then 13 of the Death card, 59 of that 5 of Swords, that growth spurt within, the war within. Just in the SIRIAN Starseed deck, that 5 of Swords is very much the frog becoming the prince, so it's very much like a child having a growth spurt when they're a teenager, and how difficult it is to go through that. So that's like the energy of the masculine going through that. And then we have 910, begin again and again and again. 39 is the Knight of Cups, 56 the 2 of Swords, and 79 the Pot of Gold at the end of the rainbow for me. And that XX came up again. I don't know what it's called, but that symbolism is very important. The X that has an S, like a slanted S, and then the other line is straight. So 2 of those X's. It's like between the regular XX and actually what a swastika would be, 2 swastikas. So it's like the happy medium between, okay? So the code line here about abundance and self-discipline focused on the 3 of Cups, which is that coming together, the union energy, and that's very much in play today. There's a lot of reunions going on because it's Memorial Day, not to mention families as well, just because they've been apart. The Sophia energy, to peel away the layers, dealing with the foe and the false light, and the joy of coming together in reunion with the higher self, which for twins is each other, and undance, discipline. This was very interesting. And I was getting the alpha beta, which is referencing the masculine alpha and the beta of the feminine, that they're both self. So you have 2 selves, not just one. So you can't just think about you have to think about 2 always, because you're 2 people, you're acting for 2 people. The undance of the disciples, to be the Mary Magdalene, the beta energy. The alpha, Jesus, undancing of the disciples. So the masculine disconnecting from his disciples, his group or friends, the old friends that betrayed him, and Spirit's connecting with me, to be with the Mary Magdalene, or the beta energy, the alpha beta. The Sophia and the Emperor reunion of higher selves to undo disciples, and Celestial, the alpha and beta. How to undo. So there's a lot of acronyms that came up in this. I was also getting the Adam, boy, Christ, and dogma, and then Eve, Elohim, and female, God. The 7 notes that she is the music in him. And it's funny because that's like similar to a line in my song, Christo Sophia. So that was kind of cool that came up. And it was interesting, like the S is code Sophia for me. So the S was coming up as Sophia until completely crossed. So when you have an S and then you cross it, it becomes an 8, right? So Sophia will be, Sophia is Sophia alone until crossed and completed into the number 8 by one masculine. So that's the one line crossing the S, becomes the 8. One masculine to dance the disciple tango. So your higher self versus your soul was a header that came up from masteryalchemy.com. And then I was getting the actor and director, and then of course the producer is God, of course, or source energy. And then how to connect to higher self. So a lot about higher self was coming up. That was coming up from Anna, Anna, SAYSE.com. And yeah, and poo, things that are pooey, like yucky, that came up in today's read today. So you have to look at both the light and the dark in order to alchemize, and it's like a blending, a fusion of bringing both sides together to become that one in the 0 point spot. You can't just look at the light, you have to look at both sides. So, and there's lots of different ways of doing this. And I just did a session with someone who showed me her way of doing things, and I realized what she was showing me I was doing in my own way, and what I do with my codes online with you guys. So it doesn't have, you don't have to do things the same way other people do them. You have to be authentic to what your guidance is. That's the whole point of the journey. So a lot of cups energy were coming up online here. The Ace, 2, 7, and King of Cups, and chalices. A lot of masculine energy. The Father freezes. The Father freezes when it comes to dancing was coming up from one of the codes here. So it's just a little play on words about the masculine having a tough time. Perhaps they have trouble with wanting to dance, but it has to do with the dance between you energetically. So they get scared, they freeze up when it comes to dancing. So that was the message there. The word of the day from Wiktionary was red-eye, which the only definition that came up for red-eye was traveling in an overnight flight, besides red eyes, your eyes being red. And then the foreign one was chimney, or chimney. It's like an old way of writing chimney, Middle English, but it means hearth, chimney, stove, a ventilation chamber, a place where it's safe to ventilate, to vent. And something also that which heats, or heats something up. So a closed chamber without ventilation, really heats up, which, remember, you and your twin are a closed circuit, your energy together, so there always has to be a place to vent on either side. So Sophia, to peel back to the nth degree, the Re, or the shaman of cups, holding the higher self. The Sophia madman, feeling crazy, or the masculine feeling crazy, and taking the high road of the divine feminine energetic exchange of heart to have and to hold your higher self. So this is all about realizing that you're always two, you're never just one. Also, one of my codes was coming through with the letter F, and if you take apart the letter F, it's literally I and an equal sign, right? I am equal. So that's the F, and for me the F code was like the combination of the masculine and feminine in heating up, which again is that closed chamber without ventilation. So you heat up really quickly if there's no ventilation. So you have to be careful about that energy, that you are equal to your other half. So also SFO, that acronym was coming up as Sophia Flying Human. As more light and less density, she flies more easily. And don't forget, the feminine is in the masculine and the feminine. Okay, so it's using your feminine. The Sophia Flying Human, the feminine energy in both is the more etheric energy, the lighter energy. So as there's more light in the body and less density in the body, she flies more easily for both. Sophia, I am, with her, equal in our humanity. The Three of Cups, chalices, joy, reunion of higher self was coming up here. The AB of absolve, pardon, free, finish, and accomplish. To undance from the disciples, but also the discipline. And disciples and discipline are the same word. So isn't that interesting? That the disciples were around Jesus in order to teach him discipline, self-discipline. So that when he was on his own, he'd be good. And this is what you're doing on the journey. You're learning how to be satisfied with yourself. So no matter what happens in your life, you're always good, because you're always just coming back to self. Okay. So the Father, Son, I broke up the word discipline, which is dis, D-I-S, C-I-P, and then line. So it was very interesting the way the coding was coming up in the meanings of those different words. So the Father, the Son of, the X, the fire and water of imperfection, the undancing, the God is coming up. Jesus and God are coming up all the time as your meal, your food, your nourishment. So God being hazy when you don't understand your connection, being a rich meal, maybe it's too rich for you right now, maybe you need to scale down a little bit. The block, the pad, the protection, sip slowly, the upper part, the tip, the point, the hub, the starch, the navel, which is the mid part of the church as well, the sip. So what it was coming down to here is really cool how it talks about this. So the navel, the center of the body is about 2 inches below the navel. So that's airing just above the center, just like with alkaline and acidic. Your body needs to be a little bit more alkaline, more on the side of light than acid, but towards the middle. So the navel is in that sweet spot, just above the middle. So that's what the reference is to the navel here. And also D sharp was coming up here. And the pound sign of the D sharp, like a sharp is like a pound, was coming up as a code today as well, because it's taking the F of the line, I am presence, and the equal sign, that I am equal, to the 2 I's and the equal. You're never just you. You and your other are equal. The divine pound sign, which you notice is also the tic-tac-toe. So discipline. Divine pound. The D sharp. And exclaiming God, like when someone says, oh my God, you know, that exclamation here. When hazy after a rich meal and dying under the table, exclaiming, why me, God, requiring an explanation from source, were unsure they could handle this meal that God dished out, the point, a block, protection of the upper part, the tip of the iceberg, to sip slowly, just like when you get freeze. What is it called again? You know, when you drink something that's too icy or cold, and you get, I'm sorry, I can't think of it. It'll come to me in a second. You don't mind me, I got hit by a car a few years ago when I was running, so my recall is really bad. All right, so It's the tip of the iceberg, so sip slowly. The navel, or the middle of the body, but the upper half, the middle upper part, airing to the side of the light. The church, the starship, it's all the center. The hub, where we start, or we state our position in all that. The direction, a lie, an exaggeration. Padding, the inner lining to soften the blow. The itch, the scratch. The path and vehicle in which we pull the ripcord in order to know. So the lengths that we'll go to know a lie, because we already know the truth, and Spirit's connecting with me, that you don't need all that story because you already know the truth. You just have to go within. And this is at 1225, which is the Hangman and the 25 of the Knight of Wands. And there was a header that came up today too, where the 27 was considered, the number 27 came up as inorganic, and the number 12 is the organic, which is the, that wisdom of the 12. And here's 1225, and 12 is basically that half of 25. It's 12 and a half, but so the 125 is half of 25. And so there's a lot about the Knight of Wands this week as well, which is that passionate energy of getting moving and riding in, passionately coming in to make love, perhaps. So we start here with the Nine of Swords upright, which is that suffering and silence energy of the purge. Suffering and silence after lacking faith. The Six of Cups, loving kids or twins, come clean. Get clean, or allow the purge. Just allow yourself to go through it when you're not feeling right. Allow it. Unhappy family, or end of emotional cycle of unhappiness, on a quest to purge it all out. The pursuit of happiness comes through facing the discomfort, allowing and loving it too. The Ten of Pentacles, dream family, business, community or legacy of the High Priestess or secret keeper, patient angel, tripping up perhaps, but dropping the act, breaking the loop, dropping the mask and the patterns altogether. The World and Cycle, complete, or sealed divine feminine and Queen of Pentacles reversed, finding peace and ending unhappy family, or emotions of uncomfortable energies coming together at work or to co-create. The King of Swords reversed, wanting to socialize or come together, and the King of Swords reversed, not in his truth, he's reversed, or sharp with his tongue, stuck between the Three of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, but both upright. So both in essence good things, but suffering and silence due to it's not what it looks like. His story is not matching the Three of Pentacles and Three of Cups' stories. So although the three separate things are in essence good, except the King of Swords is reversed, so he's not in his truth, even though the other things around him are in essence good. So everyone happy and creative except him, coming together to what kind of dance or sing? Either way, it's just about people coming together this weekend to have fun with each other. But he's feeling left out, or like he doesn't belong, and other people coming together to dance or sing. What tops the cake is 5 plus 5 equals 10 channels or 10 notches, all on blast. No longer falling back, but spring forward with a hopscotch and board games, ladies competing in fashions perhaps, the creator taking a step up to the podium. 7 plus 7 equals 14 channels, adjusting the frequency to tune in better. No more black box or stereo speakers, or lost them in the fall. All he built, wilt. The Ace of Pentacles is out. God serving up a meal. Christ consciousness, the gold coin, the Kohan, the co-pilots, the Kohans. Dawning, being strong, or the Leo maid packing, or feminine pacifying the beast, or hired someone to walk the dog or feed the cat. The King of Swords reversed and the King of Cups reversed, trying to be strong, to outbid each other perhaps, or Leo offering time, money, and energy, or new life to help out, or received an offer and leaving the group, and the King of Cups reversed and the King of Swords reversed are upset. The King of Cups reversed, down on all fours perhaps with their tail between their legs, or one woman taking orders at home, or work from them in order to stay. Or she's been packing money away and now offering, and men are wondering where this money came from. So there's deception here. Calling in your soulmate came up for the masculine, and beneath that was release your ex. Frustrated, tantrums, or just uninspired, or a date that was refused, avoiding jealous rage, or the Emperor reversed player, or Knight of Wands reversed, or an aftermath of sudden event, epiphany, or orgasm, or Emperor reversed with the Page of Wands reversed, and Knight of Wands reversed, kids may be all angry or upset or falling short on the playing field. And the Page of Cups is struggling now to express their true feelings, although they're upright. They're still very young and immature and not sure how to express their love. And that's at 12:59. 12 is the Hangman, 59 is that Five of Swords, that war within, the struggling to grow. At 1 o'clock, which is the Magician with a lot of source energy behind it, the Page of Cups, message of love, unclear, with memories in the moonlight, and Black Cat playing with the crumpled up paper that's been thrown on the floor. The Knight of Wands reversed, falling short on rescue efforts, and the Emperor reversed, not in control. Or the Page of Cups making a mess, and the Emperor reversed is no longer willing to clean up the mess, the drama, and fires that have been created, allowing the past to burn, having burnt an innocent child. Leadership comes up, number 81, which is the end of karma for me. It's that Ha energy, H-A. And then creativity beneath that, number 3, which is the Empress, and also representing Gaia and Mother Nature, is reversed. The end of karma between the Emperor reversed and the Empress reversed. At 107, which is the Magician and the Chariot. The Emperor reversed, unable to deny when children are witnessing the situation. So then the movie Witness came up here with the Amish in the city. And there's definitely a parallel coming up today again with living outside the city but having the benefit of seeing the city, like outside your window. Synchronicities, options under the radar, full free to leap, dancing a jig with self-satisfaction, getting their wish. Covering their mouth, eating their words, deliberating, of poor judgment perhaps, refusing to hear the wake-up call. Or Aquarius, a child and chronic liar or spy, or negative self-talk, immaturity and harsh mean words, or a child mouthing off, or giving the silent treatment due to heartbreak, hurt feelings, separation. The Hall of Mirrors, illusion, playing with your eyes, playing tricks with your eyes, the Winged Emerald Order, purple indigo, magenta swirls, and the harsh truth of teal and the glass ceiling, the chess game. The Jar of Hearts, collected, funneling through the heart to impish boy unwilling to trust, choking on lies and now coughing it up. That's funny because I coughed when I was dealing the cards today and I wrote that down. The Day the Music Died. So bye-bye Miss American Pie, P-I, being centered human with the line down the middle of the circle. And again, this is American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Then good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing "This'll be the day that I die." And I just pulled in some of the lyrics, not all of them. When the jester sang for the king and queen, in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me. Oh, and while the king is looking down, the jester stole his thorny crown. And Spirit's connecting with me. And the courtroom was adjourned. No verdict was returned. The players tried for a forward pass with the jester on the sidelines in a cast, so someone might have gotten hurt, right? And oh, and there we were, all in one place, a generation lost in space, and no time left to start again. So come on, Jack, be nimble, and Jack, be quick. Jack Flash sat on the candlestick, 'cause the fire is the devil's only friend. No angel born in hell could break that Satan's spell. And in the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried, and the poets dreamed, but not a word was spoken, all the church bells all were broken. And the 3 men I admired the most, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, caught the last train for the coast, the day the music died. Okay, so that was definitely coming up on Saturday. At 127, which is the Magician and the 27 of the Ace of Wands, separation, suffering, and silence, and coming together all at once. The reunion of the King of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups upright. So this is very much father and child energy. I just have to reposition here. All right. So as leadership changes, and that 81 comes up again with leadership, which is the end of karma, that Ha, H-A, is 8 and 1. The Empress reversed and the end of karma. The son needs to forgive his father so the Divine Feminine can forgive him completely, allowing her in. And this came up in a movie like 2 years ago, I swear. So it came back again, really cool. So recently is the Page of Swords upright, news, message, child, spreading the word, now upright. Back in the saddle on journey of good news and leading the way to move, visit, and marriage or inequitable relationship, a debt, a scam, not sharing or not playing nice, the Emperor reversed in downturn, slow down, twist of fate, connecting with soulmate and healing, working to align, powerless to the union of two, getting over loss or regret, defenseless to energies, attacks, news, being ganged up on, unfair fight or relationship. The foundation is the Four of Swords upright, taking a break, rest, prayer, meditation, the 5D connection, and the Knight of Cups offering love to the whole truth to soften the blow. So lovers won't be defensive when their dots are connecting. Defensive end takes a stand, but where others back away, the Knight of Cups keeps on coming. With love and truth, the pieces he or she is missing, the space between, the central energy being the indigo reverse, the little drummer boy without anything significant to offer. Feeling insecure, letting go of the little that he has to make repairs and or amends. The King of Pentacles working to align and come clean, which can be the Devil or Capricorn, and Chariot and or Cancer, with twin, challenged by coming together in a reunion. The Dark Knight making his way, but falling on face or from grace, or afraid that he'll make a fool of himself. The Wounded Warrior at night in uncomfortable energies with announcements. And that can be judgments as well as that hearing that wake-up call or receiving a call, actual call. The lower back to butt pain, root chakra, suffering in silence, safety and security, the pangs of betrayal, and the Magician reversed, manipulations, the Hermit reversed, losing their mind, or seen that way, or two crazy mercurial energies, wacky scientists, ending pain by healing, dreaming, and shining their light, dreams coming true. 8 of Swords, trap, the energetic, stealing at night or cheating at night, hostage, and the Hermit reversed, looking to reignite flame that they've been missing and feeling insecure about, and the old man Hierophant or Taurus losing their mind, unable to control third energy, and around sexually frustrated Aquarius or Taurus Virgo Aquarius, sexual energy prison, anxiety between Virgo reversed and Taurus upright, or Hermit coming out, an old man with red robe and cap, or dirty old man unable to conceive of his dream or of this dream, Scorpio or masculine woman, or feminine man or crossdresser at night, or work that they love, or big love at work, between the Dark Knight and the Fool lacking faith, or Scorpio upright and Cancer upright, and Aries falling from grace. Uncomfortable energies between Aries and Scorpio, or Dark Knight's lack of faith at 202, which then is another reference to the two. The two high priestesses are the two psychic or intuitive people. Or there's an end to this big love at work with falling on face or from grace, or literally fell and got hurt, or someone passed. And by the way, my uncle passed yesterday. We just found out. The Knight of Swords reversed, holding tongue at work, with the King of Pentacles superhero hospitalized, in rehab, arrested, or harsh truth of alternative sex practices or pornography, or a dominatrix or contract marriage, or the King of Pentacles is chasing girls, presently harsh truth to justice, judge, lawyer, or Libra and Page of Cups child, or a message of love, or judge with a soft heart, or hearing about child abuse, current or long past, or custody issues or paternity issues, or finding out as an adult that your father wasn't your biological father, which happened to me 10 years ago. And now the moon, the night, the hazy, unclear subconscious. It wasn't about my father, though. I just want to make that clear. My father actually found out his father wasn't his biological father. So now the moon at night, hazy and unclear with the subconscious energies, the energetic exchange from the world, or sealed divine feminine, between the twins tempted by the Holy Grail, the King of Wands separated in awakening to the divine feminine having offered love, and he ignored her 3 to 4 times, still grounding and integrating or feeling unworthy, allowing the subconscious energies to boil up to the surface and hopefully ventilate, right? The Page of Swords leaning on the truth with their butt in his face, the Queen of Swords reversed, deeply broken-hearted, reaping rewards of sexual frustration, misuse, or not aroused by being silenced by the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, keeping the divine feminine flame between them until death do us part. As death becomes her, dark night surrounds all business partnerships and love for the work, and twins or kids at night spreading the word of the silence of the Lamb, of 5D connection, especially at night when things are gray and not clear, the Queen of Wands undressing and trying on shoes, all business with the King of Cups reversed, the Scorpio and Taurus here, the Page of Pentacles opportunity, help, or loan from dark night, King of Wands, or Scorpio to Hierophant, marriage, religion, or establishment or group, community, with the Queen of Cups reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed, not going out for a bite or a date, or the Hierophant upright and the Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles both reversed, wanting to get together with that King of Cups reversed and Queen of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Wands upright, to dump emotional attachments, not happening, or without options. The Hermit reversed, or Virgo reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, spreading the word and reaping rewards, but not aroused by Hierophant or Taurus, narcissistic old man, silencing her or gag order in place due to sensitive issues or sexual abuse or inability to conceive or conceptualize the wounded warrior end, death, transition of the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, the dark night end with partner at work, offering help to Hierophant and ladies reversed, or Taurus and 2 grown daughters, while the King of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed have no options, with big love at work, holding their tongues, and deeply hurt. The King of Pentacles upright and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, not eating together, and no date night, no options, all closed. At 233, which is the High Priestess, and then that Christ consciousness, as well as the 7 of Wands needing to stand up to others, standing up for yourself. The King of Pentacles on a mission to save girls from the truth presented to justice at divorce, or by the Page of Cups, message of love. Soon is the King of Swords reversed, in uncomfortable energies at night, or with Cancer, an announcement made, judgment is out, or wake-up call to action, a rebirth in the aftermath of sudden events, an epiphany, orgasm, coming together at work to co-create, lying or not in his truth, silent or sharp with his tongue, dumping emotions, dumped in the dumps, crying, peeing, purging, or pushed to their emotional limits, holding their tongue and lashing out all at once, to move forward as the Knight of Pentacles to offer help to dependents or those who are powerless or have lost money, power, and independence, defenseless to energies of attacks and ganged up on, and left behind, exiled, destitute, injured, or ill, or lovers just out in the cold, happy to be together, no matter what. Twins in energetic exchange, expressing feelings, a lot of communication or travel back and forth in order to release. The masculine sees himself as the 10 of Swords upright, ending pain, painful end, betrayal, or back pain and associated treatments, with no options, unable to implement their new path right now, and come together to be happy, have satisfaction, presently in knowing and keeping to themselves. The Devil or Capricorn, or that's just your codependencies and addictions, waiting to the Page of Cups, child, or a message of love, the innocence. In 5D meditation and taking a break, fell into a trap or into prison with Cancer, or Aries reversed and Cancer upright, in prison together, getting over grief, loss, regret, guilt, and shame. No option but to receive the Devil's message of love, or that's just a Capricorn, and you're misinterpreting, in the 5D with happy group holding up those lacking faith to find satisfaction even when held prisoner or with anxiety issues. present to ascension and keeping energy pure in order to get over the grief or get through it. Let go of control issues, heart-to-heart conversations, and it is safe to love came up for the masculine. Perhaps Leo or Taurus is offering to bow out of a situation. Around the divine masculine is the Five of Cups reversed, getting over loss and regret, justice, divorce, or Libra, and kids, sunshine or exposing all, about player falling short or falling off the horse, or holding back their passions. Libra, Leo, or Sagittarius reversed, and the block that masculine needs to clear has to do with higher self, secrets, psychic abilities, and thinking that means no money, defenseless, and left out in the cold. So equating one with the other. Self-discipline, abundance, but even more so spiritual career. The King of Wands with 2 lovers, or just with his children, or children affecting his love life, not putting himself first. The Ace of Cups reversed, dumped in the dumps or overwhelmed, purging, crying, and peeing all night, or vomiting, or no options for the King of Pentacles, harsh truth, with justice. And the Page of Cups, kids, twins, an energetic exchange between them at 258, which is the High Priestess, and the Four of Swords, the 5D connection. Spreading the word to find peace, perhaps hanging a shingle to purge and scream, or the front man and back man to help others who are struggling, or some pro bono work, or work as a front for something deeper. Guidance coming in when purging at night, or with cancer, or someone sick or with cancer illness, with dumping syndrome and a heavy load to carry, burdened or just with a lot on their plate, in addition to children, the Page of Wands reversed, and the Page of Swords upright. No activities to get them out of the house, always wanting to talk or needing help. With schoolwork, perhaps needing guidance, or Hierophant's burdened, or is a burden, perhaps Libra upright, Gemini upright, Taurus upright, Pisces upright, and a lot of fire here. Or Virgo, Cancer, or Gemini. Virgo or Gemini and Cancer energies, and Libra, Taurus finding peace or happiness with self without outside help, and ending unhappiness of the family or emotional cycle of unhappiness, to be present in the moment, moving to peace of mind and peaceful place to be at 309, which is the Empress and the Hermit. Suffering in silence, asleep, on break, or resting with meditation and prayer, giving it a rest. Ending pain and getting over grief, loss, regret, spreading the word, but insecure without the tools, and challenged by joy in coming together. The King of Swords reversed, and his higher self. At night in the dumps, or crying or purging, with guidance to be happy without seeking outside attention. Ending a big emotional cycle, the gift of the moment. Suffering in silence, the Page of Swords, heartbroken or in separation. Resting or connecting in 5D, insecure at night, or with Virgo reversed, Gemini reversed, and or Cancer upright. Ending pain or painful end, the King of Swords reversed, dumped or dumping or overwhelmed. Getting over loss, regret with higher self or secret and purging, or Pisces and Cancer both crying or purging. Libra, Hierophant, and or Taurus, religion or establishment getting their wish to end a family or emotional family cycle and be present to third energy, the flame, the twins in connection as one being at 317, which is the Empress and the Star. All right, so that was it for this read for Saturday. And yeah, that's it for Saturday. So I'm going to get into Sunday on a separate video, but I'm going to pull another card now from the energy deck to see what comes up. So let's see what comes up. Okay, now that we finished this read for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? What is the message from this read? Okay. What is the message from this read? All right, the thinking man. So it looks like somebody's working on something new. working with crystal work perhaps, or just crystal energy. And then the woman holding a coin. Okay, and this can very much represent a mother and son energy as well. Okay, or someone who's controlling the masculine, someone who has all the money. And then we have cornucopia, which is a lot of abundance, and that's number 11. So we have the 46 of the 6 of Cups in the Garden, the 42 of the 2 of Cups, and then the 2 of the High Priestess, but it's really 11, which is justice. The justice of abundance. Okay, so this can be, I don't really care for this Empress energy because she looks kind of nasty. She's got a scowl on her face, but it's representative of the Empress energy, the woman with abundance. But she looks a bit controlling as well. There's the masculine starting something new, so he might have a backer, or that could represent his partner, his mother-in-law, the divine feminine. But either way, there's abundance here, okay? And then the underlying energy is the thinking woman, which then would match the thinking man. That's 47 of the 7 of Cups. The thinking woman, and therefore the thinking man wanting to do something similar, or just doing it naturally because they match up, and getting a financial backer for abundance. And that can just be, that can be a parent. And it could be a parent who's no longer with us too, because it could be involve an inheritance. Or it could be, this can also represent the masculine with his partner and the divine feminine at the same time. Okay. And the abundance of the union. Okay. So now we're going to get into the second read. So I'm going to let you go so we can start up the new one. Rise and be loved, guys. I'll see you in a second. Bye.